Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the 505 Podcast.
Welcome back. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, the whole 9 yards.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy New Year.
Get them all in there. Cinco de Mayo. Let's just get them rolling.
On, baby.
Get them rolling. Really happy to be back on the pod. Unfortunately, if you're probably going to, if you're watching the YouTube video, something's a little off.
Something's off.
Something's off in the room. We are without our good friend, Chase.
Our co-host.
Our big rock. He's back in Wisconsin for the next 4 or 5 days. In Minnesota. He was in Wisconsin. Was in Wisconsin, caught the vid, and now he's in and now he's stuck on house arrest in Minnesota.
Yeah. He was struggling for a little bit. I think he's feeling better though.
He's feeling better today. We checked in on him, and we really do miss you a lot, Chase, because I know you're going to listen to this episode. So we miss you a lot. We can't wait for you to be back on the pod. But the show doesn't stop.
We can't stop.
The train keeps on going, baby.
Exactly. We were saying how it's nice that there's three of us because there's inevitably going to be a time where one of us is out of town and we can't stop, dude. We got to keep going.
Yeah, and you guys have given us some incredible motivation. The messages that we've been getting on the pod have been very nice, and we appreciate all of you guys that continue to listen, continue to support us, because in 2022, we got some big shit planned with this pod.
Oh yeah.
Big shit is coming, and
we're taking off.
We have a lot of big things in the behind the scenes that we've been working on. We've been grinding on late at night to make all of these things come to fruition. And we just want to say thank you because it means a lot to us. And if you haven't, please leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. I think we have a handful of reviews right now, but it really does help us out more than you know.
Yeah.
So help us, please. Give us a 5-star review.
Exactly. And also the DMs are just it feels good. And it's a validating feeling knowing that people are out there listening. It still blows my mind that we're getting a consistent amount of views and people are really fucking with it. And that feels great.
It feels great. And it's really just, it's all about action. And with this podcast, it's tough because we all are working. Yeah. We're all doing social media. Me and Kostas are really going hard at social media, and it's a bitch to do the pod, and Kostas has been absolutely destroying the podcast for us. So if you guys have been watching the YouTube vids, Kostas has been really taking that on, putting the team on his back with that, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you. So fucking thank you.
Of course, dude. We got to make it happen, and oftentimes so I'm the one who does full-time freelance stuff, and more often than not, I have some free time to edit, and there's times where we're on a short deadline of trying to get these up on a Wednesday, and Brayden's like, dude, I either have to go shoot a game or chase his work and stuff. So I'm like, gotta make it happen. But yeah, so speaking of things looking different, you might notice your boy doesn't have the bad headphones anymore. I got good headphones and a little other level up with the new MacBook Pro.
The new MacBook Pro. You got the M1. Tell us a little bit about, why we should even give a shit about the new laptop.
So if you have ever tried to edit a video ever in your life on a laptop, or really an Apple computer for that matter, you understand how much of a bitch it can be, especially with we were saying, Sony Kodak is just so tough.
Terrible.
And Premiere just can't handle it. Apple fucking finally figured it out with these computers and the M1 chips. It makes editing so much easier, and it's a noticeable difference.
And I got these because of Chase. Chase was the first one to show me these Sony.
Oh, the headphones.
Yeah, the Sony MX4s.
They're incredible.
They're the best. Marquise Brownlee, the YouTube tech YouTuber, one of the best YouTubers, right? He raved on these, and I was like, all right, if this dude says that they're sick, I'm gonna cop them because I trust this dude, and I've been blown away by how nice they are. I will say though, AirPods on planes still rip. These on planes aren't sick.
Really?
You just don't look as sick, one.
Okay, cool.
With the big over-the-ear headphones, you look kind of silly. And B, if you do wear a neck pillow, because neck pillows are fire on a plane, because you just have to have that, it's just an awkward little thing. So I did wear these for 2 or 3 flights this year. Not the vibe.
Interesting.
Wear your AirPods.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor, or wear cord head, whatever. These aren't the vibe, though, over-the-ear.
You definitely can't sleep with these. I'll tell you that much. But I was using them last night, testing them out, cooking a little dinner, and I'm just like the noise canceling. You feel like you're in another world.
Yeah,
I'm
you're just
like,
transported.
Yeah, it's great. What else did you get for Christmas?
I got,
Speaking of.
for Christmas, I got a really cool pair of Off-White Dunks. Brenda,
Oh, you showed me those.
hooked it up for the fam. She got me a sick
Dude, your mom hooks it.
My mom does well for these holidays.
Oh, yeah.
She really goes hard for her friends. We got Brenda a massage.
Dude.
So she's going to love that.
Great.
She's going up to this really fancy ass place in West Hollywood, and she's going to have a whole day of just relaxation because she deserves it.
Exactly.
She puts on for the team. So we're
Work
getting
hard.
Brenda's going to go get a massage, and she's going to love that. Oh, and then we got everybody air tags. And I bought myself a pair because
I got one too.
Originally, I had them engraved, and I was like, maybe I'll just take one of these and just not give it to somebody. I was like, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna buy another one. So
they're great though. They're like
great gift. If you're thinking about if you need to get someone a gift, get them some air tags. They'll never lose their keys ever again.
Or any other Apple product. I feel like you can't go wrong with Apple.
Yeah, it's great, and it was a fun Christmas hanging out with the fam. What did you do? Did you just really kick? I just relaxed.
Yeah,
dude.
same.
It was great.
My grandma came into town. She lives in New York, so did a couple of like brunches and dinners with her, and just hung out with the fam. But yeah, it was relaxing. This time, like the last 2 weeks of December, is always an interesting time because people have off work. It feels a little bit slower. You want to kind of enjoy it, and then also kind of get ready for the new year.
Yeah, you've been starting early. You have started early, which I'm very impressed about.
Thank you.
Kostas has been, if you don't follow him on Instagram, Kostas G, or is it Garcia?
Kostas G95.
That's what I thought. Kostas G95. So Kostas G95, you gotta go check it out because his stories, Kostas has been getting in the run and grind. He's been getting up early and doing some reading, doing a little bit of morning routine action. So tell us a little bit about why you decided to give a shit and start running again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the runner guy, so you can
It's
have
all good,
you
dude.
can have it.
I'll be the one runner of the
apartment. I was walking up the stairs, my knee's already hurting, so I'm like, fuck that.
Dude, I'm waiting for my knee to give out on one of these runs, bro.
I was legit walking up the stairs this morning because the elevator was going too slow. Skipped a few stairs. I was like, Kit, you can't do that anymore. Don't do silly shit. Just take it stair by stair. Stick to the weights.
Like four stairs
I was trying.
at once.
It just doesn't work
great.
anymore. My knee just hurts.
That's
so
funny.
tell us about why you decided to really kick it up before the new year started.
It really started me on TikTok. I forget the guy's name, but he likes to run and he likes to post like fashion videos and also running videos. I was like, God, this guy makes running look really cool. So I got motivated. I was like, fuck it, I'll go on a run. Why not? Knees were feeling good at the time. Still feeling all right. So started going on a run. It was the first day after I was like feeling kind of sick a little bit. And I went for a run and cardio's not my thing. Ran for 4 minutes and I was like, I got to stop. I was like, all right, you know what? We'll go for a little bit longer next time. Next run, 6.5 minutes. Next run, 10 minutes. And now I'm out there running 2 miles.
That's good.
I've never really been much of a runner, but it does feel good because I started a few weeks ago, starting like trying to stay consistent with it, only running like twice a week, doing a little bit of push-ups and pull-ups in the house, getting back into like the workout grind because I've just been out of it for so long. But doing that, trying to wake up a little bit earlier. I notice, and this is kind of where me and you differ, but like I thoroughly enjoy waking up early and like that time frame of like 6:30 a.m. to 7 or like even the 7 to 8 a.m. time frame. It's just something so like calming about it. And I really enjoy just like sipping on a cup of coffee and like reading in the morning. Yeah, it's good.
That's good shit. I wish I could do that. I've tried many different morning routine, like habitual things like that. And I've just found that, and for all of you listening, there's always going to be more than one way to do something.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to the Tim Ferriss, like he has like a thing where he does like 7 or 8 things on his list.
He's crazy.
No, I know for sure. He's like, if I can do 5 of them, that's it. Like he said in his book, I think he's like, then I feel accomplished. I'm like, okay, let me try the Tim Ferriss thing. Tried it for a few weeks. I'm like, I'm not firing off usually at 8 a.m. It's not in my little cards right now.
You need your monster to hit first.
I need my monster to hit. I need to like wake up. I need some food in my body. Yeah. And by like realistically for myself, like 11 noon, I'm firing on all cylinders, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it's all person to person. It just differs and you got to try the things. You got to try getting up early, try waking up late,
and find what works for you. But which we're gonna get more into. But I find that like I need my 8 hours of sleep. You can function off of like 5 or 6 hours, which blows my mind. I think something's in that monster, But yeah, I need my 8 hours. If I don't get my 8 hours, like if I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m., I gotta go to bed at 10, or else I just like mentally I'm like, if I got less than 8 hours, I'm either gonna I'm going to be like groggy and tired, and I'm going to need a nap at some point in the day.
The nap's important for you. It really.
I'm nap king, dude. I nap every day. It's great.
What do you really want to implement into this next year? Like right now, these next, whatever, week, 2, whatever. What are you trying to implement?
So, I was thinking about it. I was actually journaling earlier this morning, and I was trying to pick a word for myself to kind of be like my word for 2022. And I really want it to be consistency, something that I've always struggled with. And if you're consistent with something, you're just naturally going to get better and see results. So I'm trying to have consistency in all areas of my life. You get motivated, right, to do something. Let's say you watch a video or come across something on social media, and it kind of triggers some motivation. And then the next day you're like, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to do all these things. Stay consistent. I'm doing this for the rest of my life. Like this is me now. And then maybe you do it for a couple of days, couple of weeks. And then for me, sometimes, or oftentimes, more often than not, I'll fall off. And I'll be like, a day goes by where I don't do it. One day turns into a couple days. Next thing you know, I haven't worked out or done something that I wanted to do for a few weeks or a few months. And then I get anxiety about like going back to it. And I'm trying to not judge myself as much. If I miss a day of doing something that I want to do, hey, it's okay. If you miss a couple of days, it's all good. Just get right back into it, and don't let falling off or missing a day or two really like allow you to, or be the reason you stop doing it altogether.
Yeah, it's important to note that getting on a streak is just as easy going in the opposite direction.
Oh, that's good. That's so true.
It's super true. And I think that when you're trying to start a new habit, so say it's the gym, right? You work out. This is how I started in the gym, and I've had a really crazy, I don't look as fit anymore, if I'm being honest, but like I used to have a really pretty like nice physique that I was proud of.
You were fucking yoked. It is crazy. Brayden showed Chase and I some old photos of him, because Brayden was, you were in what, like high school when you were really into it, and like kind of in college as well?
The senior, right when I graduated high school, going into college, it was like, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to try and...
You were, dude, like bodybuilder, massive.
And I don't want to get that big again, but it's nice because I know how to do it and get that big if 100%. I ever wanted to again. And I want to find, from where I'm at right now, I would say I'm like Skinny Bones Jones in my head. Okay. So I'm like, if I could find a happy medium between really Jack Fig and like Skinny Bones Jones Brayden, we'll be happy. But going back to the workout thing, like when I was starting out, you go like, say you go 3 times a week, right? Mm-hmm. And then you miss a few days, but then eventually you'll get to where you're doing it 2-3 days in a row.
Sure.
4 days in a row.
Yep.
And then 5 days in a
Yep.
row. And then I was like, holy shit, I'm on a streak right now.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Screw the whole rest day thing. This is just what I did. You don't have to listen to me. So I was doing 5 days in a row. I was like, let's do 7. Let's get 7 days in a row. And then once I hit 7, I was like, yo, what if I hit 14 days in a row? Then I hit 14 and I'm like, a month? No way I do it in a month. And then I'm looking at my body in the mirror. I'm like, holy shit, at the end of this month, my body's drastically changed. It looks different. It noticeably looks different from day 1 to day 30. And that's when I got into this idea of just that. You hear everyone say this, all the gurus, whatever, 1% better every day. But it really does compound, and you can see noticeable change, I feel like, in anything that you do if you do it for a month straight.
Absolutely.
If you get on that streak, if you can get on the streak, you can get rolling. Once you hit a month, then you can go wherever you want.
Yeah.
You can really just be like, okay, did this for a month. Obviously it worked. I was consistent about it. I think you can take that and do it with social media, fitness, your morning routine, journaling, any of those things. Once you get hot, you got to keep the ball rolling.
And also 100% seeing results is also really motivating, specifically with working out.
Yeah.
But if you see progress, that's motivation to keep going. But I think we've talked about this a ton, but consistency, man, if you show up every single day and do it, you're going to see results.
And you're tough to beat.
Exactly.
The most successful people I want to say that I've met are very consistent people. They do something that gets them closer to said goal every day for the most part.
Yeah.
Which is super annoying to like, you hear people like, oh, you got to do this every day, like no days off, whatever. The people that are the best at that, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Like the basketball players, the athletes, all those people are doing, that's why they're really good at it. They've done it every day, or they've done it very consistently for 10, 15, 20 years. And that's why they're great at it.
100%. I will also say, oftentimes around this time of the year, right? Everyone's setting their New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. They're going to change their life. They're going to do all these things.
Yep.
And you make a whole long list of all these new things you want to implement into your life, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's waking up early, eating healthier, going to the gym, posting more on social media,
yeah.
whatever it is that you want to do. And you throw so many things onto your plate at once, and you have this brand new, super long checklist.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I'm guilty of it.
And me too.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you are good for a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
but man, is it hard to implement like not just one new habit into your life, but trying to implement a ton of new habits. It can get overwhelming, and oftentimes I find that brings me anxiety more so than
any positive in your life.
Yeah.
I've done that in college. I did the cold shower, journal,
Exactly.
run, 4 workouts a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm going nuts. And I've just like missed a bunch of homework assignments.
You're gonna
So-
you're gonna burn out.
No, for sure. And I think then you get down. I've done that exact same thing at least 5 or 6 times. And that's why I'm preaching to you all that you got to try and do 1 or 2, maybe 3 things, maybe 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
But focus on the top 2 or just the top 1. Or it's like, okay, I want to get, because it'll all trickle down. If you can get W's doing one thing, then you'll be like, okay, I'm going to make better choices now towards the rest of those things. And you can slowly start to implement them into your life. But I remember when I was doing the cold shower shit, I was like, I hate cold showers.
I will never implement
Fuck cold showers.
Dude, no way.
Dude,
Not for me.
I remember for a month I did them every day, and I was like, finally I figured out, dude, it's like 45 degrees in Eugene, Oregon. I'm like, this sucks. I don't know who thought this was fun, but they live in California or Vegas or Houston, Texas. I was like, this isn't for me. But then I was like, okay, if I work out really hard and I run and I just hop in the shower, it doesn't feel that cold, So that's
exactly.
how I did it for 30 days. Then I was like, all right, end of the 30 days, no more cold showers, warm showers, because you deserve some warm showers in your life. So listen to Kostas, listen to myself on this one. Try 1 or 2 things.
Yeah.
Add them into your life. See if you can get a streak going with them, and then stick to the streak, and then figure out if you like it, if you want to implement it for a minute, or if you just want to try something else, you can circle through it.
And it's also, if you do want to do something for a while and implement it as a new habit into your life, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this for a year straight. Like, kind of got to just focus on day by day,
Yeah, exactly. It's a day-by-day thing, for sure.
100%.
You got to just take one thing, add to it, build on it, and then keep going.
And also, you kind of got to create your own momentum with this kind of stuff, right? Where like, if you feel stuck or you want to start something, but it seems like a very daunting task, you kind of just have to start, and you have to build that momentum. And once you get a few streaks under your belt, you'll have that momentum building because you'll see the progress, and then you'll be able to add some more things into your daily routine.
Exactly.
Because you were telling me that you sat down, you kind of set some goals for yourself going into the new year. I would love to hear what you kind of
what I wrote down.
Yeah, what you wrote down, what you're thinking you want to accomplish in the new year.
Okay. Can you give me a brief second to grab my journal?
100%. Okay. You always have is that a new journal? You always got cool looking journals.
I do have some cool journals. I've filled up like 7 or.
This one's navy.
Yeah, this one's navy blue. It's a pretty fun one, but I want to. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Some goals for this upcoming year. I'm going to post consistently on my social platforms. It's one that I've wrote for the past like 6 years. It's great. And we're trying to get that one done.
Yeah.
I feel like I mastered TikTok this year.
There you go.
Consistency on TikTok. I did well. We've accumulated almost like 35,000 in our community, which is solid, but we're not done. We're just getting started. I want to get that like double, triple, 4 times.
Yeah, where would you like to be at the end of this time next year?
I don't want to put a number on it because then I think you like become a slave to the number that you say.
Totally.
But if we could 2 or 3, 4x it, I'll be happy. So
That's great.
I wouldn't even say happy. I won't be happy with that because I want this community of creators to be in the millions one day. So it's not even like this next year is just another little building block on that bigger goal of mine that I see like 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line. Okay, but then I want to get out 3 courses for this year. 3. So I already have my Be Figgy Basics that I've been working on. It'll be like a guide for intro filmmakers, intro editors. But this is like, you've never picked up a camera and you're just going to get into it. Like that'll be one of them that I'm going to come out with. The other one I can't say yet because I'm working on it right now and it's huge. And maybe a few of you have DM'd me about it and we've talked about it, but that's low key and it's going to come out very soon, next few months. So that'll be fun. And then I don't know what the other one's going to be. Maybe something else down the line. I want to get a rental property this year.
I love that.
That's a fun one. And I finally have saved up enough money to where I could even afford to do that. So I'm like, okay, now I'm looking up the steps to try and make that happen. Because I think as creatives, a lot of us are just focused on making dope shit. That's it. And it's way more important to that. I'm really diversified in investing. You know, we got stocks, we got some crypto. I want to get a house or like a rental property, like an apartment complex.
Okay.
I think it's going to be important to try and build long-term wealth. And I'm really in it for the long haul on all this shit. I'm not trying to, I've thought about getting a new car so many times and I really want a new car, but I also would rather, I think it's more important for me right now to try and invest in this apartment or something and then get my car eventually. You know what I mean?
It's a really mature.
And it's a bitch for those listening. You know, it sucks. There's just going to be things that you want and you have to make sacrifices to end up getting the things that you want sooner rather than later, you know, and I want to set myself up.
Well, that's also one, I commend you because that's really mature. And I definitely lean towards the, like, I'd rather have the nice car.
I want the nice car. For those that don't know me personally, like I love expensive shit. Yeah. I love expensive stuff. Yeah. Who doesn't love? Kostas loves expensive shit too. Kostas might love expensive shit more than I do. But it's just like I've wrote down these things that I want. I'm like, okay, this now is like my little checkbook. So when I think about doing something that's like not gonna put me closer to, I'm like, let's look back at the little goal list.
And you know what's also really interesting is sometimes it's enough to know that you could afford it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I want this car, and then you get enough money to buy that said car, and you're like, you know what? Having enough money to, like, I could go to the dealership and go get that. That's enough for me, but I'm going to be smarter with my money. So one, I commend you on that, but two, the fact that you are diversifying your investments and your income is extremely smart. And they say that a millionaire has on average seven right? streams of income.
So we're getting there. And we both, I think, want to be millionaires one day. So I would say so. That would be awesome if we can get that going. 505 to the moon. Pod. I want to crush the pod. Weekly episodes, never skip a week. And then
I love that.
Crush the pod on social is what I put below that, because I think that we've been not negligent. We legitimately just have not had fucking time.
It's tough,
but we're going to get this pod out. Like, I want the YouTube to be crushed next year. I want all that stuff to be on top of it, on top of Reels. And it's a pain in the ass, but we're going to make a system out of it and a process for it to make that happen.
And listen, if you're listening to this and you'd be interested in editing for us and you live in LA specifically, hit us up in the DMs. We are looking for people to help us out edit.
Yeah, seriously.
On not just the podcast.
Yeah. I want to do more brand deals this next year on social.
There you go.
I think I did 2 this year, and that's fun. And it's like, okay, that's actually a little bag here and there.
Your Monster one did pretty well.
Monster brand, or little brand deal got 50K.
Hold on now.
Are you kidding me?
Cut the check, Monster. That's good, baby. That's 50K views.
That's what I'm saying. That was pretty solid. So hopefully we get some of those trickling in this year. That'd be awesome. Yeah. And that'd be another stream of 100%. Income, which would be great. Let's see. And there's a bunch of other random ones on here, but I want to be physically fit and have a good diet. That's a big one that I want to hit, because I feel like right now my diet hasn't been great, and it's really important. And you feel better when you're eating better, when you're working out, when you're going on the runs. Your body just feels better. You operate at a higher level.
100%.
You know, so we're trying to get all those things to align.
You know, it's funny. Oftentimes, when you feel like shit or you don't feel good, you're like, I fucking woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or you're like, I'm anxious, I'm not in a great mood. Oftentimes, it's the smallest changes, like, hey, drink more water, get more sleep, eat well, and you'll fix a ton.
Yeah, and you'll feel a lot better. And it really does. It's mind blowing that those little things, it's like the little things trickle down into bigger changes in your life, which is awesome.
I think those are all great goals.
Yeah, thank you. And there's obviously, like, I have like 30 more in there, but I'm not going to bore us, and they're way more personal. So it doesn't, you know.
Oh, you're not trying to get personal? You're not trying to share your feelings on
I'm sharing a little bit of feelings. Give me a few of yours. Give me like top 5.
I want to make 6 figures this year. I got close.
Let's go.
And definitely made improvements from last year, which is great. Not quite there yet. So I do want to make 6 figures this year. I want to travel and see the world more. And I want to make travel, you know, it's tough with COVID and everything. I do want to make travel like is prominent the right word? I just want it to be a consistent thing in my life. You know what I'm saying? I want to travel often.
I like that.
I really want to make an effort to do new things and get out of my comfort zone. Specifically, I want to try new workouts. My buddy Sam's been boxing, and I was like, hey, I like watching boxing. Sounds great.
Sounds fun.
Kind of scary, but like, let's do it. I definitely want to cook more recipes. You know, I like to chef up. One of the Christmas presents that I got an air fryer, and I tried it out last night. Insane.
505 appliances just off.
Dude,
off
our
the chart.
kitchenware is just next
We
level.
got something to make eggs, air fryer. We
Exactly.
got some
We got it
blender
all.
shit.
Yeah. I do want to create an amazing community with the 505 Media and podcast.
We're on our way.
We really are. I honestly feel like starting this podcast has been such a blessing and so fun, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. And
I just love talking to the people.
Exactly.
Dude. Talking to the homies in the DMs is great. And I feel like we have a whole nother group of friends now, which is sick, that we can just talk to about random shit. I think that's the coolest part of the community that we've built is I really do feel like I know who's listening to us and I know who's watching my stuff.
Totally.
And I think that a lot of creators, even huge creators, can't say that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that I talk to are like, you know, we have a fucking army of homies that are like just friends that like we talk, that watch our stuff. We fuck with their stuff. It's really cool.
And and what's cool is like, for example, they find you on TikTok or Instagram, whatever it may be, then they come fuck with me and Chase because like we're all associated, and that feels really good. That's just like really cool. I want to learn more about myself, and I think that just comes with maturity and trying new things and life experiences. I want to learn more about what really makes me happy, what makes me sad, what makes me feel good, what makes me feel shitty, what makes me feel insecure. And I think the more you learn about yourself, the more you can kind of dial in on like focusing more on what makes you happy and understanding what does kind of put you in a shitty mood or makes you not feel good.
I love
and how
that.
to combat that.
I did write some like personal ones that were like that, and one of them was to just be present and be happy.
Yeah, I think present's tough.
It's
man.
hard. It's a son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't think our phones made it any easier. I really tried to like psychoanalyze how I was at Christmas, and I felt like I was more present than I had been.
Nice.
Which was, you know, it's tough, dude. It's tough to be present.
It's also tough because it's hard to quantify. Like you can't put a number on like, hey, I was more present.
I was more present. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost just like, okay, like try and stay off your phone and try and talk to people and, you know,
be in the moment.
Yeah. Be in the moment when they ask you something. Don't be thinking about, dude, my mind runs. So it's like, it's hard for me to be present a lot of the time. So I'm trying to work on calming myself down, just being in that moment right there.
That's good.
You
I
know?
like that. I want to read more.
That's a good one.
I just think you learn so much from books. There's so much fucking knowledge out there. And it's so ironic when you grow up, you're forced to read over summer or for school, whatever it may be. And I hated reading growing up.
Same.
And then as you get older, you're like, oh shit, books are kind of the shit.
Books are sick.
Yeah. So
Smart people read books.
Exactly.
There's so much info in them that you'll never be able to get on Google.
Yeah.
Straight up, you know, there's great business advice, life advice, mental health advice, like so much shit that people have seen and done before us that they just put in these books and they're nowhere else.
Exactly. I as well want to make a product to sell. I would love to put out a course this year. Still trying to figure out what it is that I want to put out. I have a few ideas, but just creating a product that creates revenue for yourself where you're not necessarily like working for the money. Trading time for money is very limiting.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I want to do less of that. So that's something I want to work on. But I also want it to be like, I want it to be genuine to me. And I want it, I want to really make sure I'm providing a lot of value and make it worth the price.
It's the most important thing. I think whenever you put out a digital product, if you're thinking about one or you're looking to buy one, you got to trust the person that you're buying from. And, you know, as a person that's going to sell, you want to make sure that the homies that buy it eat. Because if they don't eat, it's just worthless. And it just, there's nothing that you get out. The money doesn't really matter at that point. It's like you have to help people. And that's what's awesome about when you do put out a product. I'm going to be excited to see the homies that you do help and the people that do buy it. It's going to be great. It's going to be good stuff.
100%. And my last one is I want to network more and I want to make some more new friends and specifically kind of, a lot more in like the creative space specifically, but even just like people in general. I just want to start attracting more positive people. I think it was like really cool this year how we all moved in together and like we've all become even closer and like we all have such good energy and I think we have such a good thing going with the three of us and just kind of want to keep building our network and meeting more people.
Same. I think that we worked a lot this year, you know, lots of work was going on. It's hard to go out and meet new people when you're working a lot, when you're doing a lot of stuff. But I really do think that the pod's going to be great for us to make new friends 100%. And meet new people. And it's important, dude, because your network is your net worth. And
say that again.
Your network is your net worth.
Come on, baby.
Because you got to lean when you get a job, when you get a bigger job for the creators listening, when you get a bigger job, you can't do it by yourself. And you can't do it with 3 people. You can't do it with maybe 5 people. You might need 10 or 15 people, and having a good network of people that you trust and can lean on really will help you just make more moves, meet
100%.
more people. It'll trickle down to all aspects of your life.
If you're in school, man, it's not about the grades you make, it's about the hands you shake.
Ooh, we're just dropping a lot of shit. Come on, shit. That's a good one. That's super fair though, and I think that's a big part of college is
100%.
just meeting people and the jobs that you're gonna get when you graduate college.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's gonna be from an alumni from said school or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so talk to me though about this year. How do you feel like it went? You know, speaking of like the podcast, which is something that we started this year, which I feel really good about. But how would you say you were mentally kind of coming into this year? Maybe a year ago, where were you at? And how do you feel like this year went for you?
Well, I was living at home in my mom's house with
Same.
my best friend and my girlfriend and my little brother and my mom and my dad. So it was a lot of people in we don't live in by any means like a small house, but it's not a mansion. It's just a regular 2-story house.
Yeah.
And it was tough because you didn't really have so much like personal space, you know, and we were in the pandemic. We were in a global pandemic. It was intense. I don't think that I resorted to like working out as my outlet.
Sure.
And I was in a decent headspace, I would say, but I was longing to like move and I wanted to level myself up. I was like, I know that if I stay here, I love my family to death. And like, it was incredible because we did get really close as a family and I have a way closer bond with my family now.
That's great.
But I knew that to level up, I needed to move out, which sucked because I love my mom, love my dad. I love hanging out with them. But I was like, in the back of my head, I knew that I was like, if I want to do the things that I want to accomplish, I got to throw my little wings and I got to fly. Got to peacock. You got to let me fly. You know, so good headspace, but not just unsatisfied with where I was at.
Yeah. You felt like there was more out there.
Yeah, there was more. And I think that when I moved out, just being around you and Chase inspired me, and it forced me to put one foot in front of the other. A business partner and I had split up this year. That was a big change.
Yeah.
And anytime you split with a business partner, I think it's very hard. It's fucking hard because you just have more things you have to conquer. And when you leaning on 2 people, now it's just everything's on you to do whatever. So there's no more excuses for like, oh, said person didn't do whatever, you know? So that was interesting. That was a big life change. And just being in LA, being out in the most expensive city or second, whatever, most expensive city to live in and doing well, I think that's a pat on the back.
Hell yeah, man.
In itself. So
come on, baby.
I'm excited going into this new year, but not satisfied with where we're at. We have a lot of big things to do. And I think that what we have going with 505 Media is special and with the 505 podcast, it's just great stuff. It gets me excited. And I can't wait to just take on bigger and bigger things this upcoming year. I'm ready for what's to come.
Was there a specific thing you shot that you were like maybe most proud of or most hyped of about?
Yeah, I think that the stuff that we did with the stuff I've done for the Lakers this year is times 5 better than what I've done last year. I've just gotten better as a shooter.
I totally agree. And Lakers are playing so well this year. It's got to be so fun to shoot, right?
Yeah, we might not, we're not winning all the games, but we're having a lot of fun. I'm having fun filming, and that's all I can control, right? Like I love to watch them play. And getting to document this team is still special. Even, it's sometimes it's tough and there's adversity that you're going to have in the year. So it's been a fun year, and it's been challenging as a shooter to get better. And so I'm trying to get better, trying to grow.
100%. You're also, you have more access this year. I feel like
because of COVID and shit.
I mean, when we first met, the whole bubble was going on.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So you didn't even really get to shoot that.
I was just working remote, editing. I was getting better at editing, but not, it's hard to see that growth.
And now you have floor access.
Yeah, now I have floor access, which has been fun. It's been an interesting road. I just want to get better as a shooter, as an editor, as a cinematographer. We've done some really dope. Oh, dude, I love the shit that I did with AJ McKee this year.
Hell yeah.
He's the #1 pound for pound fighter in Bellator. And this dude's just the nicest guy. His family's great. They let me do whatever I want for them. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the next few years, I get more pro athletes that I can work with, because I fuck with working with pro athletes, because my work ethic and what I do, I feel like is very, obviously they're trained harder than I do. I don't train to be a better video editor, like kind of do, but it's, you know, I'm trying to be the best at what I can do and they're trying to be the best at what they can do. So it's inspiring to be around and it's great to film, makes my life easy. So yeah, I'd like to work with more pro athletes.
That's great. I also think it's, how cool is it that you get to work with, you know, he's not a wrestler, he's UFC, but like you grew up wrestling, kind of similar.
Yeah, I know I essentially know the grind that he's done because of the cutting weight and 100%. All that shit. And I think that AJ McKee's just such a tough dude. So it's just awesome. He's a savage. It's so awesome to just be around that type of energy and see a fucking winner, a number one. He's a number one. I talk about number ones a lot with Kostas and Chase. I think it's very rare that you get to be around number ones ever in your life. And I think now I've been around like maybe 4 of them. I've been able to be around 4 people that are number one at what they do, which is very hard to do. And it's tough to even fucking fathom being number one at something.
Who's the 4th? Because I know your grandfather,
LeBron, AJ, and just a few businessmen that I know.
Okay, cool.
So that number ones, it's crazy to be around them. They have a different work ethic. They're usually obsessive about the thing that they do. So I want to document more people that are the best at what they do.
I love that. You just learn so much. Even if it's
much. I don't even have to talk to them.
Exactly.
I just watch.
Just from observing.
Just fly on a wall and just document what they do. I'd love to do that more in 2022. What do you think was the favorite thing that you put out? You won some fucking awards this year.
I did. Which is really crazy to think about.
Which is wild, dude. Because going into that, would you even have thought that you were going to win? Realistically, right? Like, so just another video ad, right? Just like a great piece of content. You didn't think, right, that you were going to win these fucking sick awards?
We've won for this one commercial that I did for Not Water, which is a sunglasses company that my buddy started. We've won 3 awards, which
great.
There's a couple things that happened to me this year that if you would have told me this time last year that I would have done, winning an award for being a cinematographer was one of them.
Let's go, Beast.
Thank you, man. It's a really gratifying feeling.
Mm-hmm. The ad was sick.
Yeah, that was probably
turned out so well.
Thank you. That was probably my favorite thing I shot this year. And I've talked about it before, but I really feel like that was a springboard moment. And I feel like once I made that, a lot more opportunity started coming into my life. Mm-hmm. And that happened about halfway through the year. But yeah, a lot happened this year. Moved out, obviously. I'd been living with my mom for the past 4 years, which was great. Love my mom. She's the sweetest woman ever. But it was just time. Yeah, moving out was a huge step for me. I was nervous about, paying rent, all that kind of stuff.
Super nervous about paying rent.
But just like being an adult and like figuring it out when you're younger,
I'm still figuring it out.
Oh, every day.
I eat out every single day, guys. I get a breakfast burrito from Tacos Por Favor in Brentwood, California.
We're trying to teach Brayden more about how to cook and, use the kitchen.
Learning.
But yeah.
I'm learning.
It's funny when you're younger, at least for me anyways, I would think of the age 26 and you'd be like, oh, they got their life figured out, they're an adult. And now that I'm here, I do feel like I have, I've matured more, have some things figured out, but by no means do I have everything figured out. And I'm still trying to figure everything out on a daily basis. But I do feel like I've grown a lot this year. The pandemic was definitely tough for me, just being at home, and like I feel like it was just creatively frustrating and not being able to travel or do much outside in general. That was tough, but I definitely feel like got to shoot some really cool stuff. So it was a good year, and the podcast for sure was one of my favorite things.
One of my highlights.
Yeah.
I think I did a podcast before the 505 pod, the Page pod with my old business partner, Chad. And that was a blast, man. It was really just incredible to meet inspiring people, talk on a weekly basis, dude, because the pod's great. Cause in X amount of years, you and I are going to look back in 15 years and just giggle at all the funny experiences that we've had and got to talk about, the trips that we've went on, the stories that we tell. I mean, it really is just a scrapbook of our lives and shit we believe in or wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's cool it's going to be really cool to be able to have this
100%
and just look back. As far as the listeners crushing their goals, I'm going to start with one thing that I think that you should do. And then I want you to kind of springboard off me.
Okay.
So to really crush these habits, I saw this actually in a YouTube video, and I'm going to relay the thing. It's from Atomic Habits, the book. And basically this guy was saying, and I've done this, so I know that it fucking works. This person was saying that he drew 3 circles, right, on this little board. And the inner circle had identity. The next one had actions, and then the next one was results.
Okay.
And this person said, the narrator said that to truly get the results in that we want, we have to identify ourselves with that thing. So if say we want to be like, oh, we want to work out 3 or 4 times a week. No, working out is now a part of your identity. And if it is a part of your identity and you identify as a person that goes to the gym, you are then going to take better actions that are going to make you that person. And because of the actions that you take, those steps that you take, we'll see better results because of those actions. And I really do think that if we want to be a filmmaker, you are no longer an aspiring filmmaker. I'll give you one more example. You are no longer an aspiring filmmaker. You are a filmmaker, and therefore we are going to take actionable steps to become a filmmaker. What does a filmmaker do? They fucking make films. So I'm going to make more videos, and in turn, I'm going to see the results of my videos will be better, and I'm going to get better, and then I'm going to be a full-time filmmaker eventually, right? So I think that identifying yourself as whatever it is that you want to become, then we'll take better actions, and then we'll see results from that. That's from Atomic Habits. I didn't read the book. I just watched a 45-minute video on it, and it was great. And I do this, so it works. I know it works. That's how I became a filmmaker. That's how I became a TikTok creator. You just identify as it, and then you start to take the steps to become that thing that you want to turn into. I think it's what you're doing right now with you said this, right? You said this with your reading.
Yeah.
You want to become a morning person? Okay, you're a morning person now.
Exactly.
And you're getting up earlier. You have more time in the mornings. You're then picking actions, right? You're reading, you're journaling, you're meditating, stretching, whatever. And now we're going to see results from that.
I like that. Or like I could say, I'm not a runner, but I'm trying to go on runs. Like, no, I'm a runner now.
You're a runner now.
So
you're a runner now. And then you're going to more likely than not be like, oh, should I run? I'm a runner, baby.
Exactly.
I'm going to go run.
I love that.
So try that into going into 2022, draw out those little 3 circles or whatever the fuck's going to work for you and see if it helps.
I think something as far as identity goes, insecurities can kind of, play a role, right? I think a lot of times if people are trying to be a filmmaker or a photographer or an actor or doing anything creative, they can maybe be a little bit insecure or scared to say and identify as that this is what they do, almost as like a safety net of like, oh, it's more of a hobby, but I don't do this full time yet. I don't really like fully identify as it, but I think working on and really just identifying yourself as that and be like, no, you know what? Having the confidence to say exactly
whatever.
I am a photographer. I am a full-time filmmaker. I'm not aspiring, like you said. I think
because then you leave room for yourself with doubt. When you say those words that are like aspiring or like whatever, you're leaving like almost an out for yourself to be like, yeah, I'm just aspiring. So I don't have to go edit these photos or go take pics because I'm just aspiring. But if you're a photographer, you're gonna be like, I got to go shoot today because I'm a photographer.
I like that.
And I like to write down, I've tried, this has become a big part of my process, the whiteboard thing. I have super bad ADD, so I have to write shit down. Otherwise I'm just going to forget it. Like Kostas the other day asked me, he's like, when you go pick up Chloe, could you go get some paper towels? In my mind, I was like, paper towels. Walk out the door, totally forgot about the paper towels. just unbelievable. So like that shit happens to me all the time. And I found that for myself, the writing things down, the journaling, whatever you want to say, manifesting, whatever you want to fucking call it, it works for me. And I found that it gets me closer to the things that I want to get when I write them down. When I can actually see them and touch them. There's like a real thing now.
Yeah, I like that. I'm definitely a big list guy. I have a long
lists are great.
I'm just a to-do list kind of guy. Like if I don't write everything down, I'm gonna
love that.
There's nothing better than crossing something off your to-do list.
Good little cross.
Yeah, man. We touched on it earlier, but I think you have to find what works for you. For example, I find that I'm most productive during the day. I do enjoy the early mornings. Once that sun sets, and it sets pretty early this time of year, I'm out. I lose all motivation. There's something about the sun going down that makes me not want to do any work. And I understand that works for me. So I understand that if there's something I need to get done, it needs to be during the day. So how do I get more productive is, I have to wake up earlier and I have to have more time during the day to get said stuff accomplished. For Brayden, he really thrives during the sketch boy hours late at night. And he understands that works for him. So, try different things, find what works for you, find a system that works for you. And I think that'll allow you to kind of stay more consistent.
And pick one to three things. Don't go crazy with this shit. Don't go like, I'm going to do cold shower. I'm going to journal. I'm going to run. I'm going to gym. I'm going to diet. You're just going to screw yourself over.
Yeah.
Pick 1 to 2, maybe 3. If you're feeling bold, stick to them, try and get on some winning streaks and power through and really start off your 22 on the right foot.
As far as goal setting specifically, I do want to touch on this just because I did learn this when I was a little bit younger and I really like it. So when I set goals, I will break my life down into different categories. That allows me to be a lot more specific with my goals. So for example, I have, working out or physical appearance or body as one, social media, friends, family,
mind, whatever.
Yeah, mind, free time. Once you break down your life into the different categories that you feel like you have and that you want to achieve stuff in, go ahead and rank where you feel like you are in each of those categories.
I like that.
So let's say right now I feel like I'm at a 4 or 5 with my body and I want to get to an 8 at the end of the year. Okay, great. Now that we know that we want to go from a 4 or 5 to an 8, what can we do on a monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis to get that number up?
I love that.
And so that allows you to kind of get more specific. And I think the more you can check in on your goals and set little goals that you can stay consistent with, it allows you to, this week I was really consistent. This month I was really consistent. And I've made a lot of improvement from day 1 to day 30. Now you're a couple months in. And by the end of the year, you're going to be a lot closer to the number that you want to get.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I think, that's really important. That's kind of what I do. Very, very similar. I do like the thing. I don't do that. I'm going to steal that from you.
That's great.
Yeah, that's good shit. You guys should all try that. I think that's a good one.
Hell yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. I thought that was a blast.
That was great.
Talk about our goals, talk about where we've been in 2021. If you're still here, please take a screenshot, lob it up on your story, and tag just Kostas and I, because I'm just kidding. Tag Chase. He's going to feel bad. Okay. And
also, like, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment and let us know what your goals are going into the new year. I'd love to know what you guys want to accomplish.
Give us 3. Give us top 3 goals going into the new year. Leave a cheeky little comment. We'll be commenting back to the whole squad that comments on the YouTube videos.
Hell yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into the 505 podcast. And we'll see you guys all next Wednesday. Peace.